Hello S1. Today we're going to talk about something slightly different. Usually we have done discussion videos for your RMPS lessons, but we thought you were probably a little bit bored of hearing myself and Mr. Rob and Mr. Manajam, Mrs. Dixon and Mr. Healy argue about various different things. So instead we thought we would give you the opportunity to really kind of investigate and explore an issue for yourself. So what we're going to look at this week and over the coming weeks is a specific topic that you're going to learn some facts about, and then you're going to think about different views on it, and then you're going to kind of bring that all together and express your own opinions and produce a piece of work on it. So we have picked a certain question, and today's question that we'll be dealing with is, should everyone in Britain be guaranteed a set amount of money? Now that's basically asking you whether you think that every single person in Britain, regardless of whether they work or don't work, regardless of whether they're retired or they're a student, whether they deserve a set amount of money each month from the government to provide for their needs. Now, sometimes this has been called the universal basic income, and we'll maybe look a little bit about that later on when we're thinking about some of the tasks. So the first thing I want you to do is just tell me your opinion on this task. Do you think that everyone in Britain is entitled to a set amount of money every month? And over this week, we're going to begin to get some facts about this question, and the facts will begin to help you build the basis of an argument that you're going to make over the coming weeks. So understanding the background of an argument is unbelievably important, because if you don't understand the background, you don't understand the key facts, then you're not going to be speaking in an informed way. So as I say, this is what we're going to do today. We're going to look at the facts. So we've got a chance for you to just express your opinion there. Don't worry if your opinion is basic. Don't worry if you don't have a kind of huge amount to say about that. That's something we're going to come back to. I just want you to kind of give your gut reaction, how you feel about that straight away, and then it might change, it might develop, it might stay the same as we kind of learn some more. So Mr. Rob has written a fantastic little kind of piece explaining the reasons for developing a kind of extended opinion, a developed opinion on various things, and I'll let you have a little read of that yourself. It's all about how Mr. Rob lost the argument last week about which is better between dogs and cats, and Mr. Manajam, Mr. Healy and I won, which was fantastic. And then talks a little bit about what a complex viewpoint is. So a complex viewpoint is just a complete issue, a complete view on an issue. So in order to do that, you need to give context. That means you need to kind of explain why the question is important and what other factors play into it. You need to understand, include the basic facts about the debate, so what the debate is actually about, what the key bits of information are. And number 3 there is additional information such as statistics, quotes, or examples. Now, statistics, quotes, and examples are something that are often used in debates. People love to quote statistics. They love to give specific examples so that you can really get your head around what is being talked about. To give a complex viewpoint, you also have to understand why other people disagree with you. It's not just being able to say, right, this is my opinion, and these are the facts that support it. You must have an idea of what other people's opinions are and why they believe it. And then in order to fully explain your viewpoint, you must deal with the points that they raised. So they will say, I think you're wrong because of this, this, and this. And you may say, well, actually, in this case, this is why I don't believe that, and this is why I don't believe that. So it's engaging with the points that other people make. That's an effective debate, and that's how we disagree civilly. And then you'll see that there was lots of that in our RMPS debates. We would listen to the points the other person made and then respond to them. At no point, I think, did we ever get angry with each other. There was no raised voices. There was no swearing or shouting. It was what we call civil debate. We listened to each other. We responded to what other people said, and we used the points that they made to kind of help advance our arguments. So in order to be able to do this, as I said, the first thing we're going to have to do is to be able to develop an understanding of the key facts. So first thing I want you to do is just to define the word income and tell me what you think income means. And then I want you to tell me the income of a few jobs. So I've written down some jobs there: pharmacist, secondary teacher, chef, bricklayer, hairdresser, and electrical engineer. I want you to tell me what the different income yearly income is for them. And then I want you to think about the essentials that people need each month in order to survive. And by essentials, I mean things that you specifically need. So we're not talking about a PS5, because you don't need a PS5 to survive. But there are other things that every person will have to pay for each month in order to basically to live a reasonable standard of life. And then when you think about what we mean by the word poverty, and poverty is a word we hear used a lot, and I want you to think about what is meant by that. Oh, before I forget, yes, you'll see that there are little hyperlinks, and you can click on these hyperlinks and they will take you to separate web pages, and they'll find specific information. Now, you're perfectly free to do your own research, but those hyperlinks are just ones that I found useful, I thought were quite helpful, so you can use them. And this is asking you, question 5 is asking you about statistics about poverty. Again, I've given you 2 websites that you can click on those hyperlinks and go to those websites that provide you some information. So they're about, questions are about the number of people living in poverty, what percentage of children live in poverty, why poverty has increased over the last year or so, and which group is the most likely to live in poverty. And then I want you to move on to the kind of key element of the question. What do we mean by universal basic income? What does this word actually mean, or this phrase actually mean? And what does it actually involve? When you're thinking about that, I think one of the things to really focus in on is the word universal. Universal is a really key part of that phrase, and it's also obviously another word used in the universal human rights, which is again perhaps a kind of similar-ish idea. And finally, in your opinion, why is the introduction of universal basic income a moral issue? Why do people think it's important? Why does it cause debate? Why do some people disagree on it? Why do some people think that it's something we should definitely do, and other people think it's something we definitely shouldn't? What are the motivations here? Now, hopefully that has explained the basics of the task for this week. As always, if you have any questions, please just let me know. I'm very, very keen to hear your opinions and your thoughts on this, and we will, as I say, begin to develop some ideas and some different opinions about this over the coming days and weeks.